Welcome back to the channel and a new video. This is a rush. Liam is at the gate with the new glass. He's been down to Reclamet this morning, picked up the glass for the car, 2 rear quarters and a windscreen for it, saving the planet, getting them second hand, and of course saving us a load of money. Let's get it outside, let him crack on, get this car watertight, then we can continue on with it. Just shows you how long ago this video was filmed. Look at the Clio in the background, not even been into the workshop. You can see the SVR is over in the right, and I'm not even sure what that is behind the car, but it just does show how long ago this was done. So nice and easy for Liam and Stephen. Front windscreen, they'd already got it in the back of the van. That's got to go in, and them 2 quarter light windows. I'd already previously done both of the drop glasses, and me and Chris swapped over the tailgate. Of course, that already had a window in it, and we put that in colour. That's now all the windows in and it's watertight. We're picking up. I think Liam done a cracking little job there. Both rear quarter windows are in. New front windscreens in there. He has clipped it all back together. Chris has prepared, I'm going to go around this side. So we got that little scratch there. You've got that little scratch there. This is a new wing, new door with a little dent in it there. And then that damage on the quarter and the rear bumper. Chris has already prepared. Well, I got the door handle off the old door because it is different and it's got that, what do you call that? Unlock and lock button, yeah. And the wing mirror cap, which is a slightly different colour there. So I guess this is out of our hands now. Yeah. I've already got the ramps out. Let's get it on the back of the truck, ship it straight to Smart Services, have the bit of paint work done, and I guess we'll pick up as and when this one comes back.
That's it, mate.
Nice little turnaround this, Chris, and it's turning out to be another lovely little car.
That's what we like.
Well, it's been a long time coming, but the Fiesta is finally back. I did just say in that bit of video clip there that it was turning around and being very, very quick, but it's actually been a couple of months almost since we've done that last bit of video. The whole side of the car, you can see, has been repainted, and you'll remember originally, this is it, an Armco, where this car had had a T-pack manoeuvre where it had been stolen, and the police had actually rammed it into a barrier. So we've had right down this side that quarter panel repaired. That's a replacement door, replacement wing. We've had the whole side painted, and of course we've had the front bumper painted because that was all scratched up as well. And then down this side, I'm going to be honest, I can't remember if we changed anything. No, that's crash wrap. Actually, I put a window in it, didn't I? Because the police had smashed this window out and they'd also smashed this window. I'll try and find a picture and insert it now of what this did look like when it actually arrived. But moving on quickly, rear bumper, we've got a new one in there for it. We need to get that fitted. We noticed that it's got the Miltech exhaust and it's got quite a lot of other fancy bits on it. There's a lot of glue as well, where this had crash wrap all over it. Actually, all the windows were smashed in this car. Remember, it didn't have one window left in it. They'd all been smashed. I need to start the process of stripping this door because it's got a different loom. This door came off of a standard car, the replacement, and actually our door has got these auto open buttons on it, and I know from previous experience the wiring loom in that door panel will be completely different. So let's get this stripped and get it fitted up with all of the stuff out of the original door. So cracking on here, stripping the original door, quite straightforward because I've done so many of them. It's easy for me to say, but it's just a couple of torques holding that door panel on. I'll get the door panel removed, and then you've got that huge black cassette inside, which is the whole insides of your door. You can now see it there. There's loads of 10 mils around the outside of it, and you have to just sort of twist it a little bit, make sure the window's halfway down, and then you can pull that whole cassette out with all the door locking mechanism, and even the insides of the door handle. The whole thing comes out as one unit. I'll show why. I've said it before, it's quite crazy now how vehicles are set up, where ultimately that is a complete cartridge which contains the whole handle mechanism and also the whole lock mechanism as well. What I did do was spared you me removing this one. So first things first, window halfway down, you've got 2 push pins, which I can actually show you. Is on the back of here. Basically, I'll just turn that up a little bit. You can see that little pin just there, and there's a hole further down. So you take the speaker out for this side, and for the other side you can see there's a little hole there. So you just get the white thing down here, and then you can push through and actually release it. I took the window out, put the window in the back, and anyway, that's that door completely removed. Now, the reason we're swapping this over, some would say they're exactly the same, there's no differences there whatsoever, but I assure you there is a difference. So here is our original from our car, and here is the one from the replacement door, and you can quickly see in the handle mechanism you've got a cable there for the handle, but you do not have this wiring harness that's actually plugged in here, and of course that is for your door handle, your locking system, and this car has it, and obviously the one that this door come off didn't. I'm now going to build that back up, get the glass fitted in there, and I think that should be the door complete. So with all of that now swapped over, I can replace it straight into this door. So we get a couple of little torques into the door mechanism itself, hold it in place, and then concentrate on getting the inside mechanism of the handle correct, because you don't want to build it all up and then you can't get your handle in there. The handle does just have one screw, one grub screw that holds it for a little hole in the side of the door there, but you need to make sure that you put all of that together before you put all of this back together. And of course, before you put your door panel on, you need to fit your wing mirror or your door mirror, because the loom runs round behind the window channel and then comes out through a little, like a grommet, and then plugs into your loom into that door cassette. With that all done and the mirror on, this will demonstrate why I did all that and why it took so long really to do it all. But that's all the original door panel back on there, completely on, new mirror on there, and this car's got power folds, so if I lock it, the mirror's going to fold in, as is the one the other side. But really important was that why I changed that whole mechanism. I'm going to put the key up there so you can see I'm not unlocking it, but you've got that little button, and that actually unlocks the car, and that is why I needed to change all of that loom. Oh, it does actually lock it as well. So there you go, that is why I changed it. That's that job done. I'm going to clear all the tools out, and then I guess we'll move on to the back bumper, because we got that to address now. Onto the back bumper. So you've got 2 screws, one under each side of the back light, and then you've got a screw and a push fit down the inside of the wheel arch, both sides, and 2 little 10s underneath there, just on the boot floor. Once they're off, we'll remove it, unplug all of this parking sensor wires, and then concentrate exact reverse of getting a new one on. It's 2 screws, 2 push fits there, 2 screws under the light, 2 10mm underneath, and that is the back bumper on the car. Now I know 100% that's going to upset some people, and I'm going to get a bit of stick in the comments section about the fact that I've refitted a new back bumper and it does not have parking sensors, and the other one did. But do you know what? The parking sensors in the other one were retrofit, and they were also an awful fit. They'd been glued in with two-pack glue in the back of it, and there was wires all coiled up with cable ties around them, and every time I put this car in reverse it just kept holding out the beep. So they was knackered anyway, and then they'd drilled a hole in the rubber down there, and it was just all wires all tangled up in there. So I've completely done away with them, refitted that new bumper, and again, it's a great match. It's just going to need a bit of a clean. I've wiped down that edge with thinners, and this car, apart from a good clean, is almost back together. The last piece of the puzzle is that front wheel arch liner, and also, now that's going to want re-gluing on, isn't it? But for those of you that remember, we've done these before, there is a black cap that goes on here, actually pushes through that wing, and it holds this in place, and it is about £30. I'm going to ring the dealer in a minute because I want it today. And there it is there. You can see that one's on there. 1 screw, 1 little push clip, and you can see the glue, well, the double-sided tape even on this one is no good. So I'm going to re-double-side tape that and then go and grab one of these, and we can continue on. I've got the wheel arch liner out already. I've got the little rubber that goes behind the wing, the little pad. That is in there. Let's get this car finally finished. It's been far too long, hasn't it? So as you know from previous vehicles, when we do purchase a vehicle, we always run a check using CarVertical, and that is because it is the one-stop shop and you get everything you need in one place. So overview, theft, odometer, financial and legal, damaged, natural disaster, market value, emission specs, ownership and timeline. Now on this check, you can see as soon as we scroll down, Ford Fiesta, chassis number petrol, odometer green, all looks good, financial and legal, all looks good, and damaged, all looks good as well. And that is because, I'm going to pick up on this, the insurance company on stolen recovered vehicles do not mark their vehicles as stolen or damaged because they need to get back as much of their money as possible. Unfortunately, this one did have a little bit of damage on it, but like we said, it was light panel damage and glass damage only. So this check does all check out absolutely fine. They've checked 900 plus data sources in 35 different countries here. I'm going to skip straight to the timeline on this one. So there's 16 records found, and there's the registration date. It had a private plate on it there at some point, and then you can go a little bit further in, ownership change, inspections, services, MOTs, failed technical inspections. You get everything that's an input on that car. So all of the MOTs, all of the service inputs, they will all come up on here. Look, even one now on the second 22, this vehicle was on sale, and on the third you can see it sold and the ownership changed. Of course, you've got your mileage on there as well, which is always nice to look at. And that is all of your MOT inputs there and your records, and you can see the mileage on each particular one right down the bottom, and it also includes the dates there as well. I want to thank CarVertical for the continued support on the channel. To benefit from a nice little discount off your check, hit that code up on screen now and use it in any browser, or hit the link in the description where it will automatically divert you to CarVertical and include your discount. So straight up in the air, wheel off, nice new bit of double-sided tape after I've cleaned up there with a blade you would have seen, and a little bit of brake cleaner just to clean off any residue on that side skirt, and then get that end cap fitted. And I've done something a little extra on this end cap because they're expensive for a little piece of plastic. Now that we've got it all back together, I'll show you what I've done and why I've done it. Finally, I think we are there with the little Fiesta. First things first, I just did that on time lapse. I wanted to point out these little end caps. Now this little end cap, the only thing that holds it on is that little push clip there, but you can see I've drilled a tiny little pilot hole in it, and I've put a screw in there, and that stops you from losing that because they ain't cheap. Let me include, I'm not picking on the seller, but let me include one that I've just seen on eBay for sale. So £36 for that, second hand. I've just been to Parts Plus and I've bought it brand new for £19 7p with the VAT. So I think you'd agree. Sometimes, well, we do say this, you are better off going brand new. The other thing I forgot to mention is I had these wheels refurbished. White was at paint. They jacked it up and I sent these to Smarts and had them done. And they look absolutely crisp, and of course they're in their original colour. I've managed to get all that sticky glue residue off of the car as well. So he says, look, I've missed a bit there, I'll get that off in a sec. But I think I'll have to do a little bit of throttling here, but I'm just going to check the oil, check the water, and we're going to run this straight to A2 tyres. Now, the wheels look like they're in the right place, but we know that this car got rammed off the road by the police in a T-pack manoeuvre. I just want to check all of the alignment on this car. I know the balancing's spot on because, of course, we've had the wheels refurbed and they've all been balanced. But I want to go over, I want to get the tracking done, the balancing done, a valet done, and of course an MOT done. And I think we're getting close, as long as this drives all right, to crunching the numbers. Let's get over there and get it done. Don't you just hate the winter? And it was a good job we bought it over here because it's actually miles out. The tracking was quite far out. There's a lot red there, but as usual now it is absolutely bang on. I would say let's head for MOT, but that's going to be in the morning. We use these a lot now, don't we? And that is purely because you ring up and you can get an appointment straight away, because they've got probably 8 or 9 bays here of testers testing day in, day out, all day. The little Fiestas in there, I went right through everything. When we had the tracking done and the balancing, he checked all the tyres, they're all fine. I've checked all the lights, wipers, washers, and it does drive really, really nice as well. So fingers crossed, I think we'll be all right. Let's see how we get on. It's the exciting part. We are down at Key Street and Car Wash. And I always say it, that can only mean one thing. We are near the end of this one, and it is almost time to get back to the yard, take a look at it and crunch them numbers. Let's let the guys do their best, as they always do, and get this one looking its best. Is it worth it?
Well,
But I guess we'll find out shortly. It has come out and turned out to be a very nice little car though.
have we had them wheels refurbed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had it refurbed, and I've had to have one brand new tyre fitted on it as well. But look how straight it is now and how lovely it is.
Yeah, it does look tidy, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a couple of minor marks on that rear bumper.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed there's like a bit of a mark there and a couple of little tiny ones on the tailgate. But
yeah, looks well.
Yeah, very, very tidy. And I've just had it, obviously, a mini valet done. And it's come up quite nice in there as well. That's that does want wiping off, probably with a wet wipe.
Yeah.
But the rest of it, it's all come up very, very nice. And now it's got a year's MOT on it as well.
Well, I guess we're going to have to crunch the numbers, mate.
100%. I know someone's going to say you should have took it out the road now. But I've driven that car and that has been played around with big time.
Right.
I've never been in a Fiesta that quick.
Does it?
It is very, very, very quick.
Yeah.
I don't know how big they can go up on the brake horsepower of that, but I should imagine that's at the top end of it, which is, we don't know because we got no paperwork.
No.
To say what's been done, but if anyone knows who used to own it, I'm sure they'll tell them. But it actually shocked me a little bit when I put my foot down in it, because I weren't expecting it.
No.
But yeah, let's crunch the numbers, mate, and find it a new owner. What I am going to say though, just before we do, is if you go around this car, it is a 2014. It has got little marks and dinks around it. Obviously not where the paintwork's been done, but I noticed it at the car wash earlier. It was perfect. There's like a couple of little pin dents in the roof. Like very, very minor, but they're there. And yet, unfortunately, you can't see it with the water. And of course, there is, like there, you can just about see there is a couple of little scuff marks on the bumper and on the boot lid there. So this car is not perfect, but it is 10 years old now.
That's right, yeah.
So that, obviously, it's going to reflect in the price. But yeah, mate, let's go inside, crunch the numbers, and hopefully one of you guys want to own this little car. I'm going to start this one off by saying, just so that everyone is in the picture, you can't win them all. And I think you'd agree, Chris. Chris is going to do the numbers on this one. I thought it was cheap when we bought it. I thought it was quite reasonable.
Yeah, that's right.
But just going through, and I think it's maybe something to do with the car market at the moment and this time of year, but there's a couple of real bargains on the internet for sale, and it's kind of stopped us in our tracks, mate. But yeah, do the numbers.
Right, so we have got a purchase price, including fees, of $2,430. What you say? Sounds like a cheap car, doesn't it?
It is, considering it's unrecorded and it was just lightly panel damaged and windows.
So anyway, then you had a trip to Reclamet, didn't you?
I did, yeah. And
we've got a full set of glass, tailgate, bumper, front wing, door and door mirror. And they did the lot of that for £500.
Yeah, so and it was all in colour as well, which really helped out.
Then in no particular order, I've also got here a side skirt end cap at £19, a tyre at £55, four-wheel refurbs, £240, wheel arch liner, £10, Liam windscreen fitter for doing all that glass, £100, painter, £600.
I better mention there was quite a bit of paint on the side of that car. but before I went on holiday, I dropped it in there and said, just have it as a bit of an hospital job to do in between jobs.
Yeah.
And it has been there for a while. Go on, mate.
Yep. Then you took it for four-wheel alignment. That was £35, an MOT £40, and a valet £25.
Yeah.
And that comes to a grand total of £4,054.
Which is not brilliant.
No.
But, well, it's not. I thought that was fair, and I genuinely thought that car was going to be worth 6.5, 7 grand. But I've just flicked through the internet, and there is some on there for 8,000, 7,000, 6,000. But there's also one on there exactly the same colour as that, done 87,000, so 7,000 more than ours. The guy's got it on there. It's part X to clear, 5 grand.
Yeah.
And it ain't, I ain't been involved in any accidents. I know our one is all clear, but still, it's had a bit of action. That one ain't, which has kind of left us cornered with this one.
Well, we always try and price them reasonable, don't we?
Yeah.
And trade money or less, we always say, don't we? So we're going to ask £4,250, which is by far the cheapest one on the net at the moment, isn't it? And that will give us a pre-tax profit of £196.
Which means we're eating beans on toast for the foreseeable future. Look, you can't win them all. It's not the end of the world. I think that was great content. Everyone really liked it. The story was amazing when we bought the car, and we worked out those like barrier marks, and someone told me the story on it. But genuinely, in the meantime, while we've had that car, we've had great profits on various other cars.
That's right.
And like Chris always says, if the numbers stack up at the end of the month and we're in front, then we're doing all right.
Well, they do every month so far, don't they?
They do indeed. Unfortunately, that is going to be the end of today's video. If you did enjoy it, I'm going to ask you to hit that share button. I've just seen one of these things come through, and it's how your channel did last week. And it actually says on there, your video was shared on WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, all the others, 397 times, which is really nice. So if you can hit that share button, hit that thumbs up, and of course, drop us a comment in the comment section. And we'll look forward to seeing you all very, very soon in the next one. I almost forgot, if you want to follow us on all of our other socials, the links for them, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, are in the description down below.
And where that car will be for sale.
Instagram in the next week or two.
Yeah.